only thing that would make your sign to the aliens bigger on the beach is seeing it on a Harkins big screen.
Oh my gosh, it's so great to meet you.
It is great to meet you too. Congratulations on this. Speaking of the sign that Elio creates to get the attention of the aliens, what would yours say?
Ooh, you know, I feel like I've always wanted to go to space to see what it's like, so I would just be like, come and get me, but don't eat me.
Okay. Even if I taste good, don't even try it.
Don't try.
I love getting a peek inside Elio's bedroom. I mean, it's covered in posters and all things space related. What does your bedroom look like? What's on the wall?
My bedroom is just filled with like different posters. Elio is gonna be the next one from different projects. It's a little dirty right now, and my parents have been telling me to clean it, but it's not as cool as Elio's, I'll tell you that.
You've been busy. You're probably off the hook. What does your family think of all of this?
I think they're super proud of me, I would hope, and they're very supportive, and I'm super grateful because I wouldn't be here without them.
I just want to belong somewhere.
So if any aliens are listening, please come and get me. Okay, bye, love you.
Could you relate? I mean, you seem like such a gregarious, fun kid who has a ton of friends. Could you relate in any way to the loneliness that Elio feels or the idea of not fitting in? When was the last time you felt like you didn't fit in?
Kind of like during COVID. I feel like it was really hard to see my friends, see anybody really, because you had to quarantine. And it was a little depressing at times because also I do online school, so I don't go to physical school where there's a lot of kids. But yeah, I think I feel like I can relate to Elio during COVID around that time.
Yeah, I just think it's such a universal thing. You're a tennis player, right?
Yes.
So your cardio must be very good. Your command of breath must be very good, because I know when you do an animated film, you're in a booth working, you know, you're voicing stuff, but this is a physical role. How did tennis maybe help you?
Yeah, I mean, tennis is kind of how I got into acting. I'll give you a little backstory. I made like funny tennis-related Instagram videos. I got noticed by the USTA, and they offered me to go to the US Open and interview famous tennis players. And from there, I got an agent, started auditioning, and now I'm here. But yeah, I mean, I played a lot of tennis. I don't have as much time as I did before, but especially for like the super long lines where I have to say them super fast, I would say it helped a lot.
I've seen some of your amazing content. I'm wondering if when you're done with this Elio press tour, if you can help me with some of my reels, because it's a work in progress, Jonas.
I can help you. Yeah, I help my mom too. She always has questions.
There's that great scene in the trailer where there's like a whole list of emojis, and it's like, which one are you?
I don't know, but I think that one is you.
Out of curiosity, what's the emoji that you're using a lot lately on your social media that kind of does represent Jonas?
I think the emoji like with the black glasses, like the one that's just smiling, like cool, you know?
Gordon?
Yes, and pretty soon he's gonna be done. Hi, Dad. I'm a bargaining chip. No, say the other thing. Oh.
The whole idea of a bargaining chip. What works for you? What's your Achilles heel, Jonas? If I want to get you to do something or get you to soften up, I have to give you what?
Movie theater butter popcorn. That's my weakness. That's my favorite snack ever.
I don't know if you've been to a Harkins theater, but I have to be honest, it's the best popcorn. I'm very biased, but if you haven't been, you have to try it and then get back to me when you help me with my reels and tell me if I'm right.
Okay, if I help you with your reels, you have to take me to the theater when I'm in Arizona.
That sounds great.
Action.
My private chambers and a high lagoon.
I'm Tara Hitchcock, by the way. I'm based in Arizona.
Pleasure.
I work with the largest independently owned theater chain in the U.S., Harkins Theaters, which is where he's already big, but now we get to see Qui-Gon on a Harkins Theater big screen.
Nice, nice.
I came across, Brad, an old interview you did with Larry King, and I could not stop laughing out loud. You described your voice
Hylergian?
as B. Arthur vacuuming in a tuba. And I'm wondering
Did
how
I
would you
say
describe...
that? Oh,
did.
boy. I was probably still drinking then. Yeah.
That could be.
Yeah.
Remember, it was years ago. But how would you describe Qui-Gon's voice?
Yes, it's me.
B. Arthur vacuuming in a tuba. It was, I tried to work in the underbite with him. You know, a little bit right in there. But he is, I think he has a lot more in common with Elio, perhaps, than people would think. I think he's just someone that really, it's funny, maybe wasn't as brave as Elio to really find out who his true person. You know, most villains or bullies, if you will, are people that have unfinished business. I don't know if you could tell I was bullied, but I was. And my therapist kept saying, well, they have unfinished business. And then I'd go back to school and I would mention that to the bully and he would beat me up. So he goes, my business is finished. But it's the first villain I really ever played in an animated film. And it was a lot of fun. Are you prepared to become the greatest war machine in the universe?
And he hides, but he's got his armor to hide behind. And I'm wondering, I mean, you joke about being bullied, but I'm wondering if your sense of humor has kind of been your armor, you know, through life as well.
Totally. I mean, I had a lot of Elio stuff growing up myself. You know, I was a giant kid. Literally, I was like, 6 feet at 12, right? And I wasn't an athlete. So half of the student body thought I flunked 3 grades. And then the other people thought I was a narc. They thought I was an undercover cop for Metro. So it's tough to get people to hang out with you when they think you're an undercover cop because they were smuggling a lot of Oreos in my school. I grew up in a very tough area. And, but no, definitely, I think most performers are probably kids that really didn't fit in, except for Tom Cruise. I'm sure he did well.
Yeah.
But,
I feel like that guy always had friends.
I think he, no question. But me, I would just kind of sit in the corner and, wave at people.
I am so excited. I love it. I love it. Harkins, I love Harkins. I was a regular. I love the old Cine Capri they had.
Yep.
We did a preview at a Harkins theater on Elio. Harkins is the best.
This is awesome!
I feel like this movie is going to obviously encourage a lot of young people to get interested in space and what might be out there. And for each of you, what was that movie that if you could pinpoint, this is the film that got me interested in animation, it was this?
I feel like we share the same one. Which is Spirited Away. I had never seen any animation other than Disney up until that point, and it was released in theaters when I was young. I was like the same age as the main character, and I'd never been changed by a movie before. And by the time I left the theater after watching it, I felt like I had grown up alongside that character.
For me, like my love of like just animation probably came from watching Aladdin for the first time. My parents, we immigrated to Canada when I was 2 years old, and I remember the day my dad brought home a VHS player, and then the very first VHS tape we owned was Aladdin, and I just watched that on repeat. Yeah, eventually Spirited Away was like that. That was definitely like I want to make animated movies for sure, but my love of animation probably started from Aladdin.
Yeah, I remember seeing Aladdin in Flagstaff, probably at a Harkins theater. I love that film. But I think Lion King, I had the opportunity to be working at Disney when Lion King was coming out, and just really inspired by the technical ability of that film and just what a great story it was. And after that, I was hooked on animation.
I don't want to give too much away, but there's this beautiful part toward the end about the idea of being unique and how sometimes being unique can feel a little bit lonely, but what a gift it is to truly be unique. And for each of you, again, what would you say is is the most unique thing that kind of makes you you?
Oh, that's a good question. Maybe like people say I have a unique sense of humor, which I don't know if you can tell in the movies that I work on, like
I would agree with
Bow
this.
or Turning Red or any of
You can tell.
the weird moments in Elio. So I would say, yeah, that. And it took a while for me to embrace that. I think, as a kid and as a teenager, you try to fit in, but then once you're an adult, you kind of go like, whatever. Like at some point you just stop caring and you kind of just embrace it. And I've learned to embrace the cringe. Kind of.
Cringe is a harsh word. I think cringe is a harsh word.
I'm reclaiming it.
Yeah.
Okay.
You're cringe, but you're free.
I'm cringe, but I'm free.
Yeah, I think that's such a common story at Pixar, that things that were unique about all of us felt like maybe something that was hard before we got there. And I remember one of my first meetings at Pixar, I was saying something and someone in the room said, "Nerd alert." And I was ready for that to be an insult, but that's like a compliment there. And everyone started laughing. And I was like, oh, okay, I feel at home here. So whatever is unique about you, it's about finding those people that really appreciate it.
Gord and I am not fireproof!
Why didn't you say something?
Gordon!
Just get in my mouth.
It's actually kind of comfy in here.
It is? I've never been in there.